Got a couple quick tips for doing oil changes, things you don't generally think about. Number one, the O-rings on your filter do come loose. So the first thing you want to do when you pull your filter off is make sure that that O-ring is not stuck on the bottom of your filter housing. Number two, there's two kinds of oil lubrication systems, full flow and semi-flow. Full flow meaning that the oil filter gets oil from the pump first and then it feeds the rest of the engine, meaning that all the oil gets filtered. Semi-flow means all the oil goes through your engine, through your crankshaft, through your pistons, through your valves, and then comes through your, whatever's left goes through your filter. So generally a good way to know is that when an engine oil filter is sitting vertical like this, it gets oil first. What you want to do is fill your oil filter right up with oil. Otherwise, the entire time that this filter is filling up with oil, you're starving your engine of oil, and you are doing more damage than 2,000 hours of running. What you want to do is fill your oil filter with oil, and you want to put a little bit of oil around your O-ring so that it seats nice and tight up against your oil filter housing. You want to tighten it tight enough so that it doesn't come off again. I know sometimes they're a bear to take off. I like doing it as tight as I can by hand, and then grabbing a piece of sandpaper or grabbing a rag. Sandpaper works really good for that extra little grip. Put it on there and then get that extra quarter turn on there. That is also extremely handy for taking oil filters off. Just a piece of sandpaper gives you that grip, and then you can twist. Whether you use regular oil or synthetic oil, what oil is tiny little balls that go in between two surfaces and create less friction. Now over time those balls will break down. Synthetic oil doesn't break down as fast, but oil still gets dirty. So I believe in changing your oil more often and using just a good enough oil. I don't believe in spending piles on synthetic oils unless you're into racing or things like that. What I tend to find is that compression still goes past your pistons and your oil gets dirty. Now whether the oil breaks down or not, it still gets dirty. It still heats up and contracts, it heats up and contracts, and I believe that changing your oil more often is better than using the synthetic oils, but it's up to you. Oils have a rating, it's called an API. It needs to have a sticker on there, and that stands for American Petroleum Institute, so it has to meet minimum standards. All the oil that's for sale meets those minimum standards, and anything above is just bragging rights, but you do pay for that. So follow a variety of projects that include conversions and repairs to anything from Ferraris to chainsaws. And check out the Tape Boss, my newest invention that's coming to market. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.